Today is day 4 of this series where I edit one portrait a day for a whole week using my Moody Lightroom preset, which you can get right now using the first link in the description. So yes, if you don't know, I do have a Moody Lightroom preset, which I use on almost all of my photos, which is a preset that I've worked really hard on, and I'm really happy that it's available for you guys so that you can use it on your own photos and get this moody look that I have on my photos. And what I want to do in today's video is show you how this preset can transform your photos and really make them go up to this next level. I've worked really hard on this preset. I really think you're gonna enjoy it. So if you like my videos and you want to support my channel, make sure to get the preset using the first link in the description below. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Samuel from Human Photographs. You already know what we're doing. I create photography content on this channel. If that's what you're into, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're really close. I know we can do it. So if you're subscribed, that is one subscriber closer to my goal. But enough yapping from me. Let's get into editing. Okay, so here I have this photo of this young gentleman here, which is a photo I took during one of my street photography shoots, which you can see more of on my Instagram, link in the description. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is analyze the photo a little bit, right? Before I ever apply a preset, I always look at the photo to see, what I wanna do with it. So the first thing I see that I wanna do here is to crop it down a little bit more. As I always say, I like to have the lines be on this third horizontal line right here. And I'm almost there. I'm just gonna, drag it down a little bit. Perfect. Something like this should be good. Now, I am a little bit overexposed here on the background. As you can see, it's completely blown out. But since I am shooting in RAW, I will be able to bring back all of these details, later in the edit. So now we're ready. So what I'm gonna do is apply the Moody preset. Boom. And this is what it's giving us. Let's do a before and after. As you can see, it brought down the exposure quite a bit. The only thing I'm gonna do here is bring back some details in the shadows because I like to do that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm gonna bring back some details in the shadows. Perfect. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm gonna fix the white balance. Now again, when I was shooting this photo, this whole day, I had my white balance set on automatic. And I usually have it set on either daylight or cloudy or whatever the situation is. But that's a small error of my part. I didn't pay close attention to that. So I'm gonna fix that in Lightroom by setting this on daylight. And you know what? I'm actually gonna warm it up even further. Something like this is good. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put down the highlights down a little bit. Maybe put down the whites down a little bit too. Perfect. Now, to me, this looks good. So if you can see the before and after, you can already see what we have done to the photo. Now the photo is ready to go to this next level that I'm gonna do with the masks. If you've seen these videos before, you know that I always use masks to edit my photos. It really helps elevate, the vibe of the photo. So the usual, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna darken the background, smoothen the skin, brighten the face a little bit more, darken everything around the face, whiten the teeth, and sharpen the eyes. So let's get into it. All right, so first things first, I'm going to select the background and watch what happens as I make the background darker. As I lower the exposure, you can see that it's making the subject pop out even more from the background. Now, you don't want to overdo this because it starts to look fake and unnatural if you go too far, but I like to stay under -1 whenever I lower the brightness of the background. I'm also gonna lower the saturation down a little bit. Perfect, something like this. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a radial gradient on the face, something like this. I'm gonna cover that, and then I'm gonna brighten that. Perfect. Maybe raise the shadows up a bit. Yes, and then I'm gonna duplicate and invert the mask. So it's gonna duplicate it and invert it, and then I'm gonna do the exact opposite. So I'm gonna lower the exposure. I'm also gonna lower the black points. Perfect. Something like this. Now I'm gonna go back to the white balance and I think I'm gonna warm it up even further. This is fine. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to select people and I'm gonna create a mask on the teeth, the eyes, and the face. Perfect. So I'm gonna select body skin, facial skin, eye sclera, iris and pupil, and teeth. Perfect. Create mask. Now, all of these features are under one mask, which means that if I edit, say I raise the exposure, it's gonna raise the exposure of all of those different features at the same time. This is not what I want. I wanna separate them. So I'm gonna drag the teeth to be on its own mask. I'm gonna drag the iris and pupil to also be on their own mask. And then I have the body skin also on its own mask, on its own group. So that's very good. So now let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm gonna do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the face. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lower the texture to smoothen the face a bit. Watch what happens. Boom. Perfect. And that's all I'm gonna do for the face. Then I'm gonna move on to the teeth. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lower the saturation, something like this, and I'm gonna raise the whites. Perfect. Then you can also use the amount slider here to control the intensity of the mask, because you don't want to overdo it. You never want to overdo it because it starts to look unnatural. Watch this. To me, this is too much. So I'm gonna have it at around, say, 80. Then we're almost done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the eyes. I'm gonna raise the whites. I'm gonna raise the shadows. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go down to the texture. I'm gonna raise it all the way up to really sharpen the eyes. Now, if you feel like this is too intense, again, you can use the amount slider here to kind of control the intensity of the effect. I think I'll leave it around 7, something like this. So now if you do a before and after, you can really see what the mask is doing. It's elevating the photo to a higher level. The photo is basically done. What you can do after that is go to, the settings and tweak them to your liking. But to me, everything here looks good. I might saturate the reds a little bit more. Okay, so now let's do a global before and after to see what we have done. So there you have it. This is the before and after. As you can see, we've been able to bring back quite a lot of details from the background, even though it was a bit blown out and overexposed. We brought back a lot of details in the shadows. We brought, the detail back in his eyes. We've made it sharper. We've smoothened the skin a bit, so his skin looks a bit more smooth. We've whitened the teeth, right? This really gives like a dreamy feel, a dreamy vibe to the portrait. And as you've seen, the Moody preset did almost all of the work for us. All we really had to do is apply some masks to the facial features and tweak the white balance a little bit and bring up the shadows. But the Moody preset is what really helped us get there. So if you want to try this for yourself and transform your photos and watch them come to life, you can get my Moody preset using the first link in the description below. Again, it is a great preset. I've worked really hard on it and I love using it, and I love showing you guys what you can do with it. So if you do end up using it and posting it on Instagram, make sure to tag me so that I can see what you guys are creating with it. And quick note, you can also use this preset on your phone. Yes, I've made a version for computer and a version for people who edit on whether that's their iPhone or their Android. Not everybody uses Lightroom desktop, so if you're using Lightroom on your phone, there is a version of this preset that you can download, which is also included in the pack. So if you're editing on your phone, don't worry, I got you. While editing this portrait, I talked a few times about masks and how I use them to kind of elevate my photos to the next level. Now, if you want to hear me talk about this in greater details, I've made an entire video where I'm covering, masks from A to Z. You can watch it right here, or you can click here also to subscribe, or click both. I would really appreciate it. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay creative, keep creating. God bless you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.